You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing, go meet your football needs. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. You're watching Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing, go meet your football need. Your football need. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. Sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. Your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy.
Okay, guys, welcome to our show for today, Sunday, the 24th of November. My name is EJ, and I'm going to be your host today. And I have Toby Modus. This is a new name.
That's my nickname.
Oh, okay, welcome. And then Arinze Aribaba, welcome to the show one more time. It's been a while for you.
I know. It's been a while. Oh,
Okay.
glad to be back.
So we're going to jump right in. But before we do, I'm going to go over our social media platforms, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're not following us, or if you're not subscribed, do so ASAP. We're trying to get our numbers up. I think we did cross 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So that's great. That means we can make money off of you guys. So we need more subscriptions, and do that if you haven't already. All right, let's go. Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. The 10 o'clock game yesterday. 3 points in the bag, 3 goals to the game, and back to winning ways. We'll start with Toby. What did you think of the match?
So I think, first of all, I think he went with a very bold selection in terms of players he dropped. And I think it was evident that, not that the players were dropped because they weren't performing. I think it was a question of health and who was ready to give their all, because we needed to win this game, right? And so I think, kudos to Arteta for getting it right, going with the selection. I think the team performed really well, and it was obvious that, the performance against Chelsea was not a fluke. And it was also obvious that we need Odegaard, and we don't have a replacement for Odegaard, which is not unusual for top teams. Top teams usually have 1 or 2 players that you can't replace, because no player that's close to him wants to come and sit down there and not play. And so it's really up to the coach, the team, to have alternative ways of playing when that player is not around. And I think we all need to grow up and understand that, you take Rodri out of City, you take Salah out of Liverpool. It's not like there's already replacement that's going to slide in there. It never happens, right? You see Madrid is struggling just because one of the reasons they're struggling is Cruz is out, right? And they haven't replaced him yet, right? Or figured out a way to play without him. But I think it was a great performance. It's probably the most enjoyable Arsenal performance I've had this season, where it was just like no stress. The first goal went in, they said it was offside, which I don't know how the linesman could see, because it took VAR like 3 minutes. But like there was never a point in that game where I felt there was any jeopardy, which hasn't happened in a while. Even games we've won, it's been like, oh, now they've conceded. Now, okay, then we have to go back and score 2 more, or it was late, but the first half, had the ball net, disallowed, handball net 10 minutes later. I think they didn't. I don't know if they considered a shot on target the entire game. I know at about 70 minutes in, they were like, they haven't had a shot on target.
Right, no.
And so it was just, for me, as an Arsenal fan this season, it was actually the first game I was just enjoying. I could multitask Saturday morning. So I really enjoyed the performance. So kudos to, everyone that played. I think the goals were beautiful. Saka was obviously back with Odegaard. Interesting combinations on the left. I think Merino had a very, very good game as well. So I was happy to see that at least he was coming into the team. So anyway. For me, it was a great game. Yeah.
Right. Before you go, let me take some of these hater comments. I know this is Peter. They are who we thought they were. I'm like, let me tell you, this comment came before the show started. So, preparing to hate in advance is insane. I'm just saying.
I mean, but grammatically, it's kind of a weird construct.
Yeah, they are who we thought they
were. So that's now past tense.
I know.
They are, which is present. So I think for grammar, I will give him a.
You give him 4.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not vibing.
Soji said, Toby, you be ashamed of yourself.
Soji, my brother. Soji, call me, bro. Call me, bro. It's been a while. Where were you when I started? I has been trying to get me on the show for a while. This guy doesn't. Soji doesn't know that the shows people come on the show are determined before the results. Like,
Yeah. They think we are planning. Like some of them said, we ran away. Nobody invited any Arsenal fan when we lost that last game.
No, but if they even invite me before the game, so to be fair, Ayo tried to get me on the last 2 weeks before the results were known, and my kids have soccer Saturday at 3, so I haven't been able to go.
Right.
So he even invited me last week when there was an international break and there was nothing to talk about, and I couldn't make it. So anyway, I know why Soji. I know what he's feeling. So.
Soji, call in, because you guys drew. Arsenal are title favorites. The elephant will return to the top of the tree. Wow. I am just being disingenuous.
I know.
Linger said, I'm scared to even mention Liverpool's players because of EJ's adoption agency. Yeah. I mean, she understands. The whole team has been adopted. She knows that. Akinola says, up Arsenal. Akinola, I don't know. Is he an Arsenal fan? I see Adigun. I just think United and Chelsea. I'm not really sure. Soji said, Toby, next time when I'm in Texas, lunch is on you.
Don't worry, on me and Dada. We got you. We got you.
All right, Arinze, let's hear your thoughts.
Thoughts on the game. So I have to admit, I missed like the first 3 minutes, which was when this offside goal happened. But overall, it was, I think the first goal, I was like, man, look, I don't know why Saka is not being discussed as one of the top 5 players in the world, in my opinion, right? I know there's Mbappe, there's Vini, there's other people or whatever, but after watching that first goal, I was like, man, I called my daughter. I said, Olana, come. Come and see how to play football. Because she plays soccer too, right? So I was like, come and see how to play football. That goal was absolutely phenomenal. I wasn't really worried, but I was worried, right? Because Arsenal, you can call it Arsenal PTSD. Arsenal things tend to happen when you least expect them. Like everything is going well. We have 70% possession. Nottingham Forest doesn't look like they're even going to take a shot. Then next thing, they'll just give a red card for kicking the ball away, right? And then all of a sudden, we're defending, and something that should be like a 3-0 game turns into a 1-1. But fortunately, unfortunately, that didn't happen. So by the time Saka, Partey scored the second goal, I was like, Forest doesn't even look like they have a shot. Which, to be honest, I think the overall score was a little bit surprising because Forest is actually a really good team, right? Forest was a team that I was maybe not super worried about. I figured we'll still win. Mm-hmm. But, wasn't it a couple of weeks ago, they were like 3rd and 4th or something, right? So They actually had a really good...
They beat Liverpool.
They beat Liverpool. They beat Liverpool this season. And they've had a pretty good first 10 games, right? So I didn't think it was going to be a cakewalk, but overall, it ended up being a really good game. One ended up scoring, so that which was good. I'm still concerned about like certain players, like Jesus. I'm like, dude, like we need something, like we need some end product. I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but I thought I saw a lineup with Martinelli, and then he wasn't on the lineup again. Like the first time I looked at the starting 11, I saw Martinelli's name on there, and then 30 minutes later, I saw there was Jesus, and I was like, okay, maybe something happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but overall, I was surprised he didn't come on at all, even though he was on the bench. But overall, it was a good game. I think by 2-0 is when I was like, okay,
we're good.
Not the kind of devil that will come up and show up in this game. We should be able to get our 3 points. But yeah, it was a really good game. But Saka is absolutely phenomenal, and you can tell with Odegaard there. Honestly, if you have those two in the team, I think we can play anybody in the world, right? But one without the other, you can kind of tell something is a little bit off, right? And I think defensively we were good. I know Ben White is going to be out for a while, but now that we have Timber and Calafiori, I think we'll be fine overall, right? But then I hope that Partey at right back experiment. Whether it was a stopgap, whether it was an experiment, I hope it has ended. Like, let's find another solution. At least not against the big teams, right? I think against some of the teams that will dominate, maybe. But not against the big team. I don't think we should try that thing again. It's not giving me any kind of sense of security. But overall, good game. Good game.
Okay. All right, let me take more comments before I move on. The good doc, as I call him, said, Saji, since when do Arsenal people have shame? Shame on you, in fact. Exactly. Let's stop there. Shame on you, Saji. No, what he's talking about. Peter said, close game.
Oh.
And then I was saying, Bukayo is the talisman. And then when we have those two, we can play anybody. I told you he's not an Arsenal fan. I know. When we have those two, we can play anybody in the world. Then don't start. Okay. So let me say my thing. I think I watched most of the match. When Saka scored that goal, I was like, he was too rude. It was rude of him to attempt that goal. Like, I felt like he could have either made a pass. Like, why did he took that extra step and then kicked the ball into the net? And it was like, you shouldn't have even tried that. He's so good. I don't think we understand. We don't appreciate him. I know Odegaard made that small. What did he do? He left the ball just so Saka could get onto it. But Saka, that was all Saka to me. Yeah. So Partey's goal was great as well. It's one of his signature moves, right? Kicking from outside the penalty box. And then who was the third? I didn't watch Waneri in real time, but I watched the replay. And I think the kid's a star.
Yeah.
I said, why didn't England invite him to under 21?
Not invite him.
But he was in under 17. So that just shows you how young this kid is. So hopefully we see more of him. And like you, Arinze, I definitely had PTSD because of the yellow cards that were given our players. Those two yellow cards, the one they gave
Saka
and Saka.
Yeah,
George's goal yellow card was fair. The other two were weird because I'm like, I can't imagine a player coming from under me, appearing from nowhere, and I'm getting the card. That's what happened to two of those players. So
the Jesus one,
yeah,
I would say it was 50-50. I'm not as upset about it because I think maybe 4 out of every 10 referees will give the yellow, depending on the stage of the game. Okay. I could see that. That's not, but the Saka one was I think 1 out of 10 referee would give a yellow card to that.
Like, why's your head in my leg? Like,
yeah.
He got the ball.
And he got the ball, and he didn't touch the player.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, his foot was high, but wasn't that high, and your head should be there. And he got the ball, and he didn't even touch you.
Yeah.
You actually ran into him after he got the ball. So the first time when he called the foul, I thought he called the foul on the guy running into Saka. Because eventually, at some point, the guy was like, I'm not going to get this ball. Let me just bump him. Yeah. That's how it looked to me watching it. So I was like, yeah, that's a foul. And then I see Ono give the foul to the other person. I'm like, what are you doing? So anyway,
weird. That's why I thought we were going to get a red card because I'm like, this ref is card happy, and then someone's going to get a second yellow. It's going to be dramatic. But yes, we didn't need to. We're doing a lot, but didn't score. That's my problem. My problem in the first half, we only scored 1 goal. We had 11 shots, 5 on target. So, but ultimately, I agree that we weren't really in danger. Like, it's just my PTSD.
What's their striker's name?
What?
Awoni. No, Awoni was trying to body Saliba, and I'm like, dude, you're not going to go past him. And a few times, Saliba was just like,
but Awoni has given us problems before. Right?
Yeah, Nottingham Forest has not been an easy team. Like,
given us problems before.
The last time we played them, they played us close 2-1, and it was like close.
It was like January of this year when Jesus came back from injury and he scored in the victory against Nottingham Forest, and I think he scored 2 goals, and it was a tough game.
Yeah.
But I do feel like that's part of the reason I think Arteta changed the squad. It's because whatever they were planning, it was clear they couldn't touch the ball. And once you have Jorginho, Merino, and Odegaard in the middle, it's a very different midfield. It's a very we can hold the ball midfield. Come on, try and get it.
Yeah.
I thought he changed the team because we have to play midweek and next week.
But that's one of the reasons. But also, I think Forest is on a high.
Yeah.
Forest on a high. Yeah. So it was also okay. And I think it's also international break, right? He could work with
Right.
Jorginho and Odegaard, and Merino went with Spain. Did he go with Spain? I don't even know if he went.
I don't even know.
Yeah, but at least Odegaard and Jorginho are around, and Jorginho hasn't really played this season. So I still think he needed a different lineup that would keep these guys guessing on what's goes on. Yeah, Rice was injured. Rice didn't play as well. Rice had a broken toe.
Yeah. And he said, I won't say too much. I'll tell you what Arteta said. Do you want to see the MRI?
Yeah, Arteta said the MRIs are with the England squad.
Yeah. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to move on to our next topic. Who has been the best EPL player so far? What do you guys think? We don't have to spend too much on this one, but yeah. We can create a short list and then we can rank them.
So Mia, I think Mo Salah is the best player in the EPL so far this season.
That's mine as well.
Yeah, and that's because one, Liverpool are top, and two, he's been very consistent, and he's one of the reasons why they're there. He's not the only reason, but he's a very significant reason why they're there from his goal contributions. So I don't think does anyone have a different choice?
I think Saka runs him close, right?
I think Saka is close, but I put Salah on top.
Like, maybe because our season is not going as well as we want to, but if you look at Saka's stats are probably his best stats since he's been playing, right? At least at this point.
He had another goal and assist, and everyone has forgotten, like, it was not just a goal.
Yeah, he has the most assists for sure.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the most goals, obviously, because Haaland does. And I'm not sure who the other ones are. Maybe Saka, Salah and Wood. I don't know.
Salah and Mbomo.
Mbomo, okay, that one.
Yeah, but I think Mo Salah is the best and the most important player this season in the EPL.
Yeah, because he's 32. Wrap up. When is he going to fall off the cliff? Fall off the cliff, Mo Salah.
You already know what's happening, right?
Okay, wait. I think we're going to get there.
This is his contract year.
Yeah, but I don't think Liverpool is.
Do you think he wants to stay at Liverpool?
I don't think he wants to stay.
There's a Twitter post he posted. Okay, I see what you mean. Doesn't matter. Either he goes or he stays.
He goes or he stays.
But it's still money.
Look, it happens all the time because after his last contract was when everybody was like, well, should they have kept Salah or Mane? Or like, remember, both of them were having at the same time. They let go of Mane, and Salah kind of, I mean, he was still good, right? He was still still top 5, but he wasn't like close to 40 goal a season Salah like everybody was kind of used to.
But he had some injuries, right? That I think wasn't that.
I mean, injuries tend to happen when you're not looking.
Hamstring, right? Like I'm saying, like the older you get, the harder it is to recover from those things. So you expect some output, but he's been phenomenal this season. So
no, he's been great. He's been great. So yeah, it's Salah. I don't think there's anybody else. I mean, I'll put Saka close, but not really like.
Not on top yet.
I'll say Salah, Haaland.
Not Haaland.
I'll give it Salah and then Haaland before I put I'll consider any other player.
Absolutely. I mean, I think
on the balance, if I'm balancing things out, I'll put Saka ahead of Haaland just because Haaland has a
He has scored the most goals this season. Whatever.
He got 3 hat-tricks in the first 3
Yeah, exactly. Haaland is a streaky player, right? That's
I want a streaky player too.
That's fine. I'm just saying, like City has had struggles, and if I was to replace Haaland with Harry Kane, I feel like Harry Kane will still score 1-1 goal in those times that he's having struggles. But Haaland will score hat-trick, then not score again, then he score another hat-trick, right? So when you look at it
now, since he told Arteta to be humble.
Exactly, told Arteta to be humble. He's not really playing for.
He said be humble. There was no reason for that. Be humble, like no reason to say that to him.
Especially when it's not as if they won.
They celebrated the draw.
Yeah.
Barely. He didn't score the goal to get them to draw. It was John Stones. I was like, dude, I don't know. You're 20-something years old. And you're 17-year-old man. Respect yourself. But anyway.
To be fair, he struggles. I know that's not the topic.
Yeah.
I kind of blame the system, not him.
We'll get there. I don't want you to talk too much.
All right, let's move on.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. Are Arsenal still title challengers, or we talk for contenders?
Someone else should go first, then I'll answer.
I think we're still in the title hunt. It's more difficult. But the reason...
Yes, we are or we're not?
We are. How many points is it? 10 points? No.
9.
9 points, what, 12 games in is not insurmountable. We're talking about Liverpool, not City. I'm not saying, no disrespect to Liverpool here, right? But
We can
City,
disrespect them.
is that what?
He said
We can
disrespect
disrespect
them.
them. Feel free.
No. I'm just City with 9 points ahead is just forget about it, right? Like, that's it. Liverpool, I think Liverpool can be caught. Remember last season, at some point, Liverpool, I don't know, they were only 9 points ahead, but they had a pretty decent lead.
Like 6 points.
Right? 6 points. And then there was if Arsenal doesn't win this game, it's over.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I think we ended up the season with like 5, 6, maybe more points ahead of them. Like, it wasn't even close on the last 3 or 4 games, right? So we definitely caught up a 9-point lead, and we definitely made up 9 points in that whole run. So I think it's still there. I think City, I know City is 1 point ahead of us, but I think City might be out of it because I don't see how they catch up. Like, they're not even playing well. I don't see where they even get any kind of
other than next
form. Yeah, any kind of form. They might not lose next week, right?
Next week.
They might not lose.
We need them to win
next week.
Yeah, we need them to like draw or something. Right?
Let them win. Let them win next week.
And then Liverpool has had a softer beginning of the season, right? And most other. Has Liverpool played Tottenham? I don't think they've played Tottenham. They haven't played City. Yeah. They played us, which was like a game to forget because we honestly should have won that game. Everybody just fell apart. Everybody was injured.
Yeah, the defense will never put out there.
Yeah.
So,
But I think we're still in it. We're not favorites, which might favor us, right? But I think 9 points is not insurmountable. Okay. Christmas period, couple of draws and we win. But next thing you're talking about 5 points, right? So, yeah, we're still there.
All right. What about you, Toby? Now, what do you think?
I would say we shouldn't even be thinking about the league right now. What I would say is mathematically, if we're still there, then so is Chelsea and so are all these other teams.
Yeah.
So I would say that mathematically, of course, we're still in it. But it's too early to say because we have to then go and win all these games that are in front of us that we should be winning. And then the table will look very, very different in December than it does today. Right now, I don't know what the spread is, but maybe between top 9 teams, there might be a point-to-point goal difference. Like, there's a lot of congestion.
Oh, yeah.
And so that just tells you the league isn't settled, right? United cannot play and go from 14 to 12, and then they play and then they get a point and then they go to 13. So we're now just 1 point behind City, which a few weeks ago we're 5 points behind them or 7 points behind them. So a lot can happen, but what we have to do now is what we say Liverpool has done, which is when they had their easy games, they took their points. And so for me to even say Arsenal are title contenders, right now I'll say it's too early. I'll say we are top 4 contenders until we show like what we showed against Forest. You got to go do that the next 5-6 games. If you've done that the next 5-6 games, then you've won the games you should win. I would say the only positive thing why I would say the stats have our chances where they are. They're very, very low. But that can change as more data comes in. But I will say the only positive thing I would tell Arsenal fans is the results this season and the points are probably similar to where we were last season. But on paper, the results are either the same or slightly better than last season because we've already gone to Villa away and beaten them. We've gone to Spurs and beaten them. We've gone to City and taking a point, which we took from them last season, right? Liverpool, we beat them at home. We drew with them there. Newcastle, we lost, which we lost to them last season. Yeah. So if you look at just the games, okay, as Arsenal really I think on the aggregate, it's just that all these games came in this big block.
Yeah.
But if you take all those games and you're bringing them throughout the season, you say, well, what does Arsenal have to do now? Arsenal has to just go and beat the teams they beat last season at home. Now, if you don't do, which Liverpool, to their credit, they did. Liverpool said, okay, look, we have a decent schedule, and they've beaten the teams they should beat, other than Nottingham Forest, which they should be beating Nottingham Forest. But that's the one disappointment they'll take away from it. We now have to play, if I look at our schedule, I think I have it open here. So we play West Ham away. We should beat them. We play United at home. We beat United at home last season. I think, or did we draw at home and beat them away?
Double.
We beat them both.
Give it a double.
Yeah.
If we beat United at home, then we play Fulham away. We should be beating Fulham away. We beat them away last season. Then we play Everton at home.
No,
We didn't beat them away last season. They beat us. They beat us away and threw us at home. That was the problem.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yes. Okay.
West Ham beat us away.
Then we play Everton at home.
we should beat Everton at home.
So my point is, by the time you go through December, the only tough team is Sporting on Tuesday. And then every other team, if you really want to say you're challenging for the league, you should be winning those games. We play Ipswich at home. We play Palace away. We play Everton at home. Fulham away. West Ham away. United at home. If you're going to win the league, you've got to take points from United at home, especially this United.
Yeah.
So and then we're in January, and then it's Brentford, Brighton, Spurs at home now, right? In January. And January. So my point is, there's no Chelsea away. We drew last season. That's the other result we had last week, right?
Yeah.
With Chelsea away, that everybody's crying. But that's the same point we got last season.
Yeah.
City got a point at Chelsea this season. Sorry, City got a point at Chelsea last season. They beat them this season.
Yeah.
City beat them this season. So it's not like Chelsea away is getting a draw at Chelsea away is that's what we got last season, and we still got 90. What did we get? We got 89 points last season. Now, if what I saw against Forest, right, those early signs, and it's all about health, and first of all, Odegaard's health and our wing backs. If our players are healthy, I think we can go on this run in December because the December games are not that bad.
Okay.
So if you ask me in January and there's a 5-point lead, of course, a 5-point lead from Liverpool is nothing in January. For any team, it's nothing in January. The business end of the season doesn't come until March, thereabouts, where, okay, can you pull back 5 points? Because they're still going to play Liverpool again.
Right.
Liverpool is going to play City twice. Once is next week, right? Chelsea is going to come and play us at our house. So there are more opportunities. But if we really want to win, now we have to go rectify the next couple of games in the league. You just need to get 9 points out of 9, and then get 12 points out of 12, and no more surprises. And I think the team can do it, actually. Okay. But they have to put those points in the bank. Until you put those points in the bank, nobody's going to give you credit for it. And that's why I won't say they're title challengers now. I would say Arsenal should just focus on getting through this winter season. If you beat the teams you should beat, then you can start having a conversation about title challenge. Because to go on the title challenge, you have to. We went on an 11-game run last season to catch City, and we missed them by 1 point.
Yeah,
you need that streak.
Okay, I think what I'm hearing from you is that you need time to see, you want time to see if we are, because everything you just said, I think we're splitting hairs, like semantics. Title challengers versus top 4 contenders. When I hear the word top 4 contenders, you're talking about a team like Newcastle that will never win the league. Yes, I said it. Something like that. A team, Newcastle, Arsenal Villa. I know Arsenal may never win the league, but we're definitely title contenders. I think we are. Like when you name the team, Liverpool's not playing by themselves. It's not a one-horse race.
Yeah.
Yes, they're 9 points ahead, but there's still an unknown about Slot and this Liverpool team because they're largely the same team.
Can we agree that they're title favorites for sure?
Yes, exactly. That's what we would say.
Liverpool are favorites to the title.
They're title favorites based on the table right now.
And if they lose it,
I won't even
be a bottle job.
Wait,
biggest
get
bottle
in
drop.
line. They are going to be butlers if they lose the title.
If they lose the title from here,
That doesn't favorites. It's theirs to lose.
Yeah, exactly. From
they've
here,
been
like,
top of the league the most.
yes,
How many days now? Is it up to 100 days?
it's been
Probably.
the whole month, the whole season so far.
Yeah.
And these people are the same people that one time last season were on top of the league for 10 days. The bottle to drop. No, you guys will Liverpool fans.
And if they bottle it again, that's 2 seasons in a row they bottled it.
Exactly, because they're the ones who
No,
bottled
they
it
bottled it
Last season, technically.
last season, and they escaped the rat because they fell apart heavily.
Yeah, and it was a quadruple.
United.
Yeah.
It was a quadruple they were on track for.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there was a quadruple conversation.
Yeah, you forgot to now.
I called it they said they're going to win the treble. I was like, they're going to win the alto. And they won one title. And it was
Soprano.
I mean, so can I just add something to the whole,
yes, sir.
So when I look at Arsenal season, this so far, there's only one game that I can say we played badly, and that's Newcastle.
That's Newcastle. I agree.
Newcastle. Every other game has been Brighton,
Bournemouth,
City.
Yeah, Bournemouth, City, Liverpool, not in terms of referee,
injuries. But that's not a bad point.
Yeah. And Chelsea is, we really should have won that game at the end. Oh man, we should have good. But it's like the small rub of the green. That's what I'm a little bit worried about. That small rub of the green that we're always getting last season, just last minute injury time. It doesn't seem to be coming this season, right? Like even City, like you hold on. I feel like if that same game was played last season.
Yes, no, we're not conceding that.
Right? We're not conceding that. So, but the only game that I would say we didn't, we just haven't shown up is Newcastle. Every other game has been one weird thing or another, mostly red cards, right? Yeah. Once you're throwing red cards in there, it's like you've already lost 3 games with red cards, Bournemouth, City, and Brighton.
Right.
And then Liverpool, essentially, everybody was falling apart. So overall, I think the team, in terms of performance-wise, like I said, Toby said, we just need to get consistency together, right? Keep the team injury-free, stay away from the red card. It seems like this whole kicking the ball away red card
disappeared. Toby said that like 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You'll make an example from Arsenal.
Yeah.
Every other season, once they've made that example from Arsenal and the media have justified it, they'll forget about it.
Yeah.
We saw it in multiple games, and we saw it even in our game.
Yeah, we saw it yesterday.
He was already in the yellow.
He was on a yellow and kicked the ball away.
Yeah.
They double yellow him.
Yeah.
And the computer was like, oh, that's a close one. And then that's it. We'll talk about it again, right?
No. And this is where I don't like the media environment protecting referees, because they should say how it works when you get on your stupid show, which I know there's not a PGML conversation. Explain to us, is it that you've told them, okay, this rule, we went too far, let's now apply common sense? Because what we heard on your audio was, sorry, Deck, I have no choice. I got to send you off.
Yes.
So did you then give them a directive after all that blowback? Did you give them a new directive? Because we saw it with Tomiyasu's red card too. Remember when they said he delayed the restart by not throwing the ball in quickly?
Yeah.
And they sent him off. And after that, they were like, you know what? I think we've gone too far. So let's.
You always go too far, Arsenal.
Always go too far.
Go too far with Man City.
I know. Exactly. Go too far with other teams and show these examples. And see, this is why these people come and start saying, "Oh, here go the Arsenal ref because you're gaslighting us."
Well, did we mention the conspiracy theory?
Don't mind them.
Where's conspiracy theory?
Who's the name of that referee that got suspended for?
Coots.
The one that say he doesn't like Liverpool.
Doesn't like Klopp.
Yeah. This is not conspiracy. This is evidence. It's like actual evidence. So
don't mind them. These refs have their biases,
but if I was him too, I would like Klopp. You see how Klopp has been screaming at them since.
Yeah.
I don't expect them to like managers, to be honest. As if you like the manager. That's not
they're human beings.
Your job is to not mess up and not be high and apply the laws fairly. Whether you like or not is irrelevant. Yeah. Wenger hated all the referees.
I'm going to say this though. I don't know. I know it's not the point, but why did his friend release? I'm not sure if it's his boyfriend or his friend. I don't know why he was saying that kind of, sensitive information to someone on camera. Why would they release that tape? I guess.
I think there's a woman involved. I think there's a strong woman involved somewhere.
Not
I personally think it was blackmail. I mean, I think.
Oh yeah, like maybe it's blackmail or you were hacked. It's one of the two. So
I don't think it was. I think we need to look at what kind of evidence they have on other referees. Honestly, like I saw that and I was like, this guy is obviously struggling. I feel sorry for him as a person, right? Like definitely seems like somebody that is maybe depressed or going through some mental health issues.
Yeah.
And that person took advantage of him. First of all, you shouldn't even be recording that conversation
at
all, right? That's not something you record. But next thing I thought about was blackmail, right? I was like, they have evidence on this guy. This was from COVID years.
Yeah, it was COVID period. Yeah.
I mean, so you have to go deep into somebody's phone to find that kind of video.
Exactly.
He was also recording himself taking cocaine. That's a selfie.
Yeah.
So he felt as a referee, it's okay if I record myself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how I don't know. I mean, Liverpool fans are fighting the battle for us, so what's my let them do it.
That's true. Arsenal should be the title contenders, or should be title contenders. But if Liverpool at any point go to double digit, then that may be too much to overcome. I was going to take this comment from the past. I think Aya is given. Yeah, he said he agreed that Salah is the best and that Saka is close. Okay, I'm going to take this one later. All right. Aya wants to say something about. I think he's referring to the cocaine. I look at Aya is a PGMOL apologies for them. He already is back.
Allegedly. What? I saw the video.
I don't know. I thought I saw pictures.
Okay, maybe
it's some white.
Yeah. They said that a white substance.
White substance. We don't know.
Gotcha. Okay, you're right.
No, maybe you're
right because we can't test it. You're right. It was a white substance.
Okay, we'll move on to this topic. Manchester City experiences their 5th loss in a row after announcing Pep's contract extension. Is City in crisis? So this is going to be twofold. We'll try to make it quick. So we know Pep signed a contract, even though we thought he was leaving. Next, I was depressed for like 10 minutes because I was like, why is this man staying? But then he now lost yesterday. So I was like, should he not stay? Because they keep losing now and it's fun. So what do you guys think? Contract extension and 5 losses in a row. Not even no wins, it's losses.
Contract extension, I just think there's not too many places for Pep to go to. So it makes sense for him to stay. I don't know if he'll go back to Barcelona. What's his face? The German guy. What's the name of that coach?
Hansi Flick.
Yeah, Hansi Flick. There you go. Is doing phenomenal. He won't go to Real Madrid. Juve is too broke to hire him now, right? All their money has finished. I mean, let's be real, right? He has done Bayern. PSG is not the same PSG. I don't think they're trying to go in that whole, loud, big money phase anymore. I feel like they've learned their lesson. So where else? Where else will he go to? So,
retire?
No,
he's not completed football.
Yeah, maybe
World Cup.
Yeah, maybe Spanish national team, right, or something. But I just think he looked at it and he's like, there's not that many places that I can go to in the next few seasons, right? Unless another big money person comes in. So he's just like, yeah, you know what? I'll stay for 1 more year. I mean, it's not a 3-year renewal, right? It's a 1 year on top of the additional year he already had. So yeah.
He didn't have an additional year. This is supposed to be the last year. It's a 2-year extension.
No, I think it was.
It's like a 1 year with the opportunity to do another year. So it's 2.7.
Yeah, so it's 1 + 1.
Yeah.
So he can do next year and say, okay, Barcelona want me back because Flink is now, messing up or something like that. So I think options are just they're not there for the kind of money he would want, and then the kind of money he would want to spend on a team. I mean, England is where it's at, right? So unless Man U or somebody convinces him to go across the streets, I don't see where else he goes. So I think it's a convenience thing. In terms of City in crisis, yes, they are in crisis. And I had always said it even when they had Fernandinho, right? It was always, Fernandinho was like the main guy. Except Fernandinho never really got injured for a whole season. It would be like 3-4 games or he'll get a red card. And you would see that obvious dip. And I think it's the system they play, right? They essentially just have 5 attackers, and they have the guy that's Rodri or Fernandinho that sits, screens, does professional fouls, that kind of stuff or whatever. And Rodri is, he won the Ballon d'Or for a reason because he's also a goal threat while doing that. You can argue why if he was supposed to win the Ballon d'Or, but the fact that he's in the top two, let's not kid ourselves, right? He's in the top two. They won the Euros. He's so critical to that team, and he's really, really good, right? It's not like, I wouldn't put him in the same bracket as Declan Rice. Like, we can find a way to play without Declan Rice somehow. We have Partey, we have some other people. With the way City play, no Rodri, it is a huge drop-off. They let go of Calvin Phillips, which, wasn't...
It would have helped. It would have made a difference.
It wouldn't have made a difference. I'm just saying that was supposed to be like a secondary guy.
Yes.
Kovacic is doing a job, but it's just not there. And then you take away De Bruyne, that's in and out. De Bruyne is like a 33% of the season. It's usually the end of the season. He comes and he gingers when he has been resting and getting massages the whole season. Gundogan is not the same Gundogan as before. And Gundogan doesn't really even play at the beginning of the season. He's another end of season guy. Bernardo Silva, older. Phil Foden, they've let go of Alvarez. Haaland is a streaky player, like I mentioned. I think they are in trouble. And honestly, if they are not careful, right, they will struggle to make top four. And I am serious. Because
that's a hot take. We're collecting hot takes this season.
I'm telling you, they might still make it, right? Pep's first season, they barely made top four.
Oh, yeah,
right?
hear that.
Yeah. This first season, they barely made top four. This season, you need, if a Newcastle gingers, Spurs, Aston Villa, if those guys ginger, because look at who City is losing to. They're losing to Sporting 4-1. They lost at home to Spurs 4-0. 4-0, right? That is like unheard of for Man City. So again, if we're not careful, right? I'm not saying we're there yet, but if we're not careful, City they'll be the ones who are saying in the top four race, honestly, right? Because I just don't see how they fix it. Like, they're not scoring enough goals and they're leaking goals.
Wow.
Right? So, yeah, I think he's safe, right? Pep is safe. His job is safe. When you say crisis, I don't know what that means. If they're going to change the board or change it. Like that.
Yeah, he's safe for sure.
He's safe. Everything is safe.
I think crises are relative. Crisis is relative for teams.
Yeah. It's not like United crisis where you're trying to find a coach every 6 games. But yeah, they're in trouble.
All right, let me take this comment before you go, Toby, because this has been hanging in there for a while. Someone said since returning to Man City from Barcelona, Gundogan has been playing like the Portugal number 7 in the World Cup knockout stages. Cheers. Who's Portugal numbers? Is that
Ronaldo now?
Okay.
Ronaldo.
Yeah. Okay. Ayo says Pep will never coach Spain. He's a devout Catalan and is against the Spanish government.
Oh, there you go.
That's true.
One year's job.
So now he has to stay in Premier League forever. Man City struggles are a perfect example why he deserved that Ballon d'Or. Please, don't like that. It's like because of this, then it's that. What? Since when do they give Ballon d'Ors to people like that? Since when? When's the last time they did that? Tell me, and I'll shut up. These people are crazy. Anyway, City are definitely in crisis, and I think it's even bigger than Rodri. They are too over-reliant on Haaland, and their new wingers lack end product. Doku, Grealish, and Savinho.
Yep. Those guys, they're grade below.
You know that Nwaneri has more goals than Savinho?
Yeah, that's what they said. And how many goals? You mean period or just in Premier League? Because he only scored 1 goal.
Savinho.
So he has not scored any goal?
Yeah.
Lord.
Has Savinho scored anything? I don't see what. I don't think I remember Savinho
Even
doing.
Foden hasn't scored. We're keeping quiet. Is he injured?
Who?
Foden.
Not
Best
sure.
player of the season. Someone said
about
Foden and Saka. Saka
let's
and
not
Bamba.
let's not release all that silliness.
I'm not gonna like every time he brings someone even said about it was Ayo.
He has 0 goals.
They should compare him.
Savinho has 0 goals in all competitions for City.
Yeah.
He has 3 goals. Like he has other goals in other competitions.
Who?
Waneri scored in.
One only has 3 in the EFL or 2
Yeah.
in the EFL. Oh, I think it's 3. Yeah, but in the Premier League, in all competitions, Savinho has 0 goals.
Yeah. The only thing I remember Savinho doing is that it was a very beautiful assist, but that
Against when he beat Calafiori.
Yeah, against Calafiori, right?
Yeah,
Calafiori
yeah.
was out of position, but it was still a very good assist.
Yes.
Right.
I
That's
think
when I remember him seeing this team.
he's
All
a
right,
good
Toby.
player. I would love him at Arsenal. He's a good player. He's not a bad player. It's just, the EPL and the system is not easy. So whatever.
All right,
Um,
Toby, go for it.
Pep, man, Pep is supposed to be able to.
I mean, with time
Great.
we'll figure it out. So, so the question, back to the question about City in crisis. I mean, they're second, guys. They're second in the league. We're saying we can still win the league. If we go on a run, if City goes on a run, they can still win this league. So I don't think I will use the word crisis. I'll say they're going through they have lack of form, and it's not. You see, you can have lack of form, and you can say, "Oh well, maybe it was a glitch because this player was out, and I've solved it now," right? But if you go back and see the number of huge losses they've had, Sporting beat them 4-0.
Yep.
If you said, okay, that was a fluke, well, then Spurs just did it, right? And then so they were losing to Arsenal at home.
They escaped that game.
Escaped.
And they escaped it. So it's not like you can say, oh, they've had these constant performances and then this kind of a glitch. So performance-wise, they haven't been there. And this is where I am going to give a theory, which is these players are tired and people don't get it. Like the Euros were this season. A lot of these players in Europe that played a lot of games in the summer, none of them is back to 100%. Very few, if any. And a lot of them have experienced severe injuries that are related to fatigue. Arteta said something post Nottingham Forest. He said, this is the first training session he has had 19 players to train. And he goes, as a result of that, all the levels go up because now the training sessions are more competitive. If we didn't have Merino fit, Rice would have played. If Timber wasn't fit, right, and ready to play, and Calafiori wasn't coming back, we would have delayed Ben White's surgery. We've had Ben White in the team, but he hasn't even overlapped, right? So people put players and they think names on the sheet is a player, but if that name on the sheet is not fully fit, it's not the same player. Yeah. So City is struggling, but like these players are gas, and they have no substitute for Haaland because let Alvarez go. Yeah. And the dude just played. We played for Norway and scored for Norway. So think of, okay, yes, the trip wasn't long, but now he's going to play this week in Champions League again, which they need to behave themselves in Champions League, kind of like Arsenal. If not, we're going to have one extra game. So they're now must-win games. So he can't rest. He can't really rest Haaland. He can rest him on EFL and FA Cup. Yeah. He don't rest him in the league because they need the points. He can't rest him in Champions League because of this new format. And Haaland can have injury issues as well. So for me, City is to me, it's not like they just need health. If they had healthy players and they had the right players, they would be performing a lot better. That's my view. Is the team isn't that much different from last season. And
but you don't think there's an age crisis? I've been calling this because these people are old.
Yeah.
Who's old? So I would say
is 33 and Walker is 34.
Walker right back, they have a problem there.
Yeah.
They can easily solve that problem in January.
Okay.
Backup striker, they can solve in January.
How can you explain
Rodri, they can solve. Rodri, they can solve in January. They can go get Zubimendi. If they go get Zubimendi, forget it. You won't even notice the difference because we saw it in the Euro final, right? Rodri went off, Zubimendi came on, and in fact, I think Spain actually played better with Zubimendi.
Okay, so how did he win ball and this happen?
No. My point is, they get through December. They're in a crisis. When you say crisis, like United is in a crisis, not City. Because United is.
Expectations are different.
But my point is, what's what happens? What's the worst? They don't win the league.
Yes, that's a crisis for them.
How's that? They run it 3 in a row.
But that's their goal.
Yeah,
but you don't think can win every year. It's important.
They think they can.
They had a setback due to injuries, and I mean, to be honest, that first half they should have scored like 2 goals against Spurs. It's not like they didn't create. Haaland hit the bar.
They hit the bar a few times.
Spurs gave him a lot of chances to score. Let's be clear, right? And if they had scored 2 goals early on, we'll be talking about a different result. So I mean, I don't know if it's not unlucky because they have a problem defensively. Because now teams know they can get at them. And I'm sorry, you can't play not Oscar Bob. Who was the other guy he played in midfield?
Rico Lewis.
Sorry,
Rico Lewis.
Rico Lewis. No, like you get bullied. Any team that sees Rico Lewis in the middle now, they're just like, okay, we have our way. And so but the only other player you can put there is Oscar Bob, who's I think is injured. But it's this guy Kovacic, right? And he can play every game. He's
injured.
Yeah, and he's
injured.
He's injured for a few weeks. Not as bad, but he's out for a few weeks.
Yeah. So you're right, EJ. I think they have an aging squad. Kyle Walker needs to be retired. Gundogan can't run again.
Yeah.
KDB is old, but Foden was supposed to be his
heir
apparent. On the wingers, he has got a lot of good wingers. Doku is good. Grealish is good.
According to Perez.
Are they good? I mean,
Doku is better than Saka.
I look at exactly like I look at those guys, right? And I don't think I'll even put any of them top 5 in the league.
No.
Doku or Savinho. They have City shirts, yes, but I mean,
and don't forget, we'll be sitting here in January talking about the different city because Pep is going to re-up in January. So
I think he's excited to.
Yeah, it's like 500 million. Remember when he dropped 250 million on new fullbacks?
And the Kawaka problem is not hard. It's not expensive to fix. It's a right back.
Yeah.
You can go to EPL and pick up a decent right back for 30 million and say, "You're done. I'm paying you 200K a week." That kid is going.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'll just say that City could be 5th next week.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it's 1 point. Okay, so what? They will be at the end of the season.
That's my point. Like it could very easily become a top 4 season for City.
I agree. I
hope so. Retired.
Like one win and 2 draws in the next 3 games, they could be 5th, 6th position, somewhere around there, right? Very easily. Now everybody else has to win and stuff like that, but it can flip very quickly, right? Again, you mentioned it, Toby, that the league is very compressed. Something.
Yeah. I mean, I would love for them to finish outside top 4.
That'll be fun.
Then I would love for them to be relegated by FPL, but let's not even go into that.
That's a different story.
All right, Benvito said that wasn't meant to trigger you, my beautiful sister, your favorite Angolan. I think he was talking about Rodri. It was a trigger. Aya says, I agreed. It's also difficult to be at the top this long. I think he was talking about when Toby was talking about the injuries and the amounts of games that they're playing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fatigue, 4 straight EPL titles wears on you physically and mentally, yes. Which is why they should have let it go last year. So they just
did 1 draw.
I know, 1 draw. You can't draw a game, City. Yeah. City were going behind in quite a few early games in the season. Yeah. The last 5 teams they played ended up just being more clinical in front of goal and disciplined defensively. So they've been out of form for a while, even before these games. I think so too. Like even against Wolves, again, another last minute. Like it was just like, what are you doing? Yeah. So I definitely think they're in crisis, and long may it continue. Compare their wingers to what Sterling, Sane, and Mahrez were doing. Maybe Doku and Savinho get better next season, but right now they are underwhelming.
Exactly.
I agree. They're wingers, but they're not bad wingers. You don't look at them and say
these are bad players.
This is a bad player.
Yeah, but saying that Doku and Sak, as in seriously,
that was a joke.
I mean,
was he joking? I mean, was it fact?
You know, you say because he can do his leg like this. And then...
I think he was high. I think he was like on drugs or something. I was like, oh, he's joking.
They give him free tickets to one of the games. Say something like
I think sometimes these ex-players want to form some deep knowledge. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So they're always trying to be contrarian to get views. Maybe he was launching his own YouTube channel and he needed clicks.
All right, we're at the end of the show. Let's talk about the kudos and donkey of the week. What do you guys have? We have more than 1 kudos. I think there's only 1, but let me hear what you guys think.
Oh, I don't know. I'll let you guys go first.
Okay, Arinze.
Oh, go first, please.
I know we'll never give Spurs credit. I give them credit for beating City 4-0. That was good.
I'll give Ange credit because he changed his tactics.
Okay.
To be fair, yes, he didn't do the stupid stuff, and so I think he has calmed down from this is who we are. This is what we do. He has received some wisdom, and he played differently against City. So yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. I like Ange, big Ange.
Yeah.
He'll still fire him, but for now.
Yeah. And I wasn't fooled by his crocodile tears last season when they didn't beat City. He was like, I wanted them to play their hardest. I'm like, okay.
Oh man, that's some chance, man. My gosh, that haunts me for years.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'll agree with you on the kudos.
Okay. Or is it, do you have someone else or something?
So kudos can be a team player, anybody.
Yeah, could be anything, any team, any player in the world.
I will give it to Bukayo Saka for that goal.
Okay. I think that was a close second.
Messi level goal. Honestly, I feel like if Messi had done that, everybody would say this is why Messi is Messi.
Facts.
I'll give it to him.
What about Donkey?
Can we give it to a fan group?
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Just give it to United fans because they're just so annoying.
Absolutely, I agree with that. United fans, Amorim, new manager bounce. Okay.
New manager draw. Oh my God! I said, no matter how down I am, right, you can bet on United to just brighten my day. And I saw the results. I was like, oh man, you guys have been talking a lot of stuff since Sporting beat. Remember when Sporting beat City?
4-1. It was
oh
like,
my God, you could. They were like, oh yeah. I'm like, it's United. It's not Sporting. So I will give the donkey of the week to them because I think they got overly excited. Some of them are rational, but the loud ones, they a little bit about what it's really going to take to build a proper team.
Oh yeah, they're going to have to give this guy time. I saw someone on Twitter already say Amorim out. I literally saw that today. So I know that they're the unserious ones, obviously, but still, they need to just wait another 3 years, see what happens.
Yeah. They need new strikers. You need new midfield.
Mm-hmm.
You need new defense. Probably, I don't think this guy plays 3 at the back. Who are the 3 guys that did that? I don't see. Maybe he keeps Lisandro Martinez. I don't know. Like he's gonna have his own profile.
Right.
So, yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be great to see because they're gonna have to churn, right? So I think any confusion on United always brings joy to my heart.
Yeah.
So my donkey of the week is United fans because they drew and they chopped another draw.
All right.
My donkey has to be Southampton. They are absolutely hopeless, honestly. And I'm not just saying that because they could.
Donkey of the week or donkey of the season?
It's the only time I'm going to show this season. So, they are like, I've watched them play, and it's like I don't understand like what you guys are trying to do. They don't sit back very well. They don't attack very well. It's almost like they have no real tactic.
Who's their coach?
He's one that came up. He came up with them. I don't know.
I don't know his name.
He's one that brought them from relegation, right?
Yeah.
Why are they sticking? Usually they fire the coaches by now that are underperforming. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know.
When they were signing Ramsdale, the other reason why they didn't get, was it Eddie that they were trying to put in a contract? So they got Ramsdale. Then I think it was with Eddie and Nketiah, they're trying to put a contract that if we go down, we'll slash your wages, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, wow.
And that's what I think it was them. I'm not sure if it was them or something. But there was always a fear that they were going to go down.
Russell Martin.
And I don't think they staffed the team and they were like, I don't think some teams get promoted and they're like, we have to stay.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they had that same idea that, we have to do everything we do to stay up.
No,
didn't they just go down? Like, this is their first season. They went down one season and came back immediately.
No, honestly, I think teams, they're in the same bucket with Norwich. That's another team that comes up and goes down. They don't try to even stay up. It's almost like they're just like, this is their business model. We're up one season, down one season.
Yeah, we don't overinvest. We don't do
stuff.
We don't go bankrupt.
Right?
Yeah.
Teams like that, they should after you do that for a few seasons, they should just keep in championship like 3 years.
Well, Southampton, like I had a very superstitious thought about Southampton like years ago, like maybe 2016. And I was like, these people are the ones holding Arsenal's destiny in their hands. Every time we lose points to them. And I told myself, I actually wrote it down somewhere that if they left the league, we would win the league. So when they got relegated last season, I was like, this is it. Let's go. We were so close and didn't do it. I was like, and then they came back. I was like, damn it, you guys are back. And I don't, like, my superstitious self is telling me that Southampton being in the league, whether or not they give us any problems, their presence there is going to ruin us. Obviously, other factors will do it, but
you already know they'll ginger when we play them at home.
Luckily, we already beaten them. I was actually concerned for that game.
Yeah, that was a tough game. It was 3-1, but it wasn't an enjoyable.
It wasn't a straightforward win at all, and then it became straightforward towards the end.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they are my donkey of the week, of the season, of the month.
My donkey is City. My true donkey is Manchester City.
The whole team of Pep.
The whole team, including Pep. Let me tell you what Pep said. Pep was like, after they lost 4 in a row and he signed his contract, he's like, now let's see. He said something about let's see. This is how we'll start our comeback, something like that. And then he came back and lost the game. I'm like, oh,
what a regular loss.
Yeah. 1-0,
2-1, even 2-0 can happen.
Yeah.
But when you're losing 4
at home.
And it was 3-0 for the longest, then it became 4. Like they scored a late goal. I'm like, are you guys
anybody else think that Edison made a massive mistake on that 4th goal? Like nobody's talking about it. But he came out for the cross, didn't get it, and that's how Brendan Johnson was able to just tap it in. And I was like, if that was like Raya or this thing, I would be screaming because I'm like, you either stay or if you come out for the cross, you get it. You just can't dive, don't reach the ball, and somebody else just taps it in.
It's a fair point. I didn't see that way. I guess because it wasn't a high cross, it was on the ground.
Yeah, that's
for me. But you're right. I mean,
like it was enough to.
He didn't cover himself in glory.
Yeah,
but Kyle Walker, first of all, that's where the problem is.
Yeah, I mean, but Timo Werner against 34-year-old Kyle Walker, even Theo Walcott started slowing down with his supersonic speed. Everybody was.
But the run by Werner was very, very. What's the word? It was very, very pedestrian. It was a straight run. You could have cut inside on Walker. Like there was nothing he did there, other than he ran straight. With whatever little soccer training I know, that's not the most efficient way to run towards goal.
Yeah, right.
You have a fullback covering you, right? You want to close your distance towards the goal. But he literally just said, I'm going to put my head down and do stupid Timo Werner stuff and just run straight. Wow. And then once I beat you, I just played the cross in. So it was a quick run by Werner.
Yeah.
Walker could have been closer to him on the first step. And I think this is his age and his time in the game. The dude's 30-something years old, been running up and down the whole game. If that was the first 5 minutes of the game, you could have said, I don't think that happens to that extent. Yeah. Because remember, Werner is running with the ball. Walker is not running with the ball, right? Yeah. So, like, I'm sorry, you're the one that said you beat Thierry Henry in your prime. Deal with this guy, right? And he made a straight run. He wasn't coming against Vinicius Jr. that was cutting in and twisting and turning him. So it was literally a foot race. To me, Walker has. If we're going to criticize Edison, which I think you're right. Now that I think about it, I would also give Walker a lot of criticism as well for that last play. And maybe he's just past it, and he needs to focus on.
He is past it.
Yeah.
I saw it at the Euros, but somehow he got player of the team. Okay. Aya says, kudos to Madison, big performance. Donkey is Toby for always hating for no reason. You see, yeah, it's like
see how United fans they call me.
They've been calling you out all day.
They've been calling me like my name doesn't leave their lips. They've been calling my name. Now I have a chance to call their name. They're upset. Like I mean, oh my God.
And he said, Aya says, great show. And with that, I agree. Thank you guys for coming on today and having lively and great discussion. Like I said, if you guys haven't followed us yet, follow us on all platforms, and we'll see you guys next week. All right.
I appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing, go reach your football needs. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's footy fantasy, yeah, watching footy fantasy, footy fantasy. It is sure say the thing go meet your football need, your football need. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive, sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see.